Hello and welcome. This is Claudine, and thank you so much for listening to this IGTV. And if you clicked on this video without sounding condescending, you should be commended. And the reason why is because a lot of people will see the title of this video and they will continue to scroll. However, understanding the difference between demographic and psychographic client data will help you immensely in your business. Interestingly, demographic information that deals with a specific segment of a population that you choose to focus on, whereas psychographic information deals with what motivates their buying behavior. So these key differences will distinguish between those who are similar to you and likely to follow you. So for instance, demographic, you may choose a particular demographic that you want to focus on, whereas psychographic focuses on taking a deeper dive into what motivates clients to work with you and buy. So understanding this concept helps you to create a more robust customer profile. Many of you will have studied marketing formally, or you've read marketing books or attended courses, and you will have heard of the term customer persona or your ideal customer avatar. And we learned that every business owner should understand their target market, that particular segment, but also that can be very broad. So they should really hone in on their ideal customer market. And that's where we really hone in on the personas and the avatars. So that is the audience that you're going to target specifically. And that is the audience that you're going to hopefully resonate most. And we have learned that when you clearly define your customers, you can hone your message and target your business, your products and your services in a way that speaks and connects with that audience. And we've learned that it's important to understand the demographics of your audience, so your ideal audience. So it's great if you can understand and you work towards, a particular age group, gender, race, location, a salary, their earning potential, their employment and maybe their marital status. So for instance, you may think to yourself, I'm going to target, for instance, audience that's between 25 to 55. They're going to be women, they're going to be black origin, African American origin if you're from the US. They're going to be based in Europe. They're going to have a particular salary, and they're going to be single women. Or they might be people or married. So whatever you prefer, you can choose an ideal audience and target your content, what you say, and that really speaks to that audience. So that when that audience sees your post, they feel that and they understand that you're speaking to them, and they're more likely to resonate with you. Whereas the key difference is with psychographic, we're looking at their underlying interests, their activities, their values and their opinions that motivate that buying behavior. So for instance, what social media platform they're on. It's really important to be where your customers are. If they're interested in career growth and coaching, that may influence their buying behavior if you've got a coaching service. If they're interested in improving their lifestyle, entrepreneurship, then again, that might influence their buying behavior. If they purchase products online from new businesses, it's great to know who does that, because you may be a new business and you want people who purchase from new businesses. If they believe in personal growth, if you don't want to target people who don't believe in personal growth. So psychographic information, those are a few examples, but it can include hobbies, interests, their social class may influence whether or not they're going to buy from you, their personality traits, their lifestyle, their beliefs, their preferred activities and more. And those of you that have used Google Ads, Google Analytics, YouTube ads and analytics, Facebook and Instagram ads, you will be aware that when you, for instance, choose a particular demographic or audience, you can actually really plug in information about, for instance, what platform people are on and certain information that relates to their psychographic data. and that will improve the likelihood of you being able to sell them. Because, for instance, you don't necessarily want to target people who, if your business is on Facebook, you don't really want to be targeting people that are not on Facebook. But if you're using Facebook ads, you know, usually you are going to get people on Facebook. What I'm trying to say is that with psychographic information, it really helps you to plug in information that's going to help you to understand people's buying preferences, not just in terms of who they are, in terms of how they behave on social media, and what their interests are, what their hobbies are, and how likely they are to buy from you. So how do you decide what to plug in if you're going to do a Google ad or a Facebook ad? Well, again, that's why it's so important to understand your audience through asking questions, through your stories, in your posts, your call to actions, in your email marketing, at events, in surveys. Analyze that psychographic data as well from those sources, but also from past ads. You can have a look at past ads and see a lot of information, find a lot of information about your audience, and you'll be able to create that psychographic information on that profile that will help you to guide your content. But also, if you're going to be producing ads, it helps you to hone in on a particular audience of your ads. Because if you do ads, if you have done ads in the past, you'll notice that once you put in a lot of the demographic information, so if you put in a particular age, sex, the amount of entries or the audience is so big, sometimes you're not going to, if you have such a large audience, it's almost like if you're selling to the masses, you're selling to no one. So it's really important that you're able to narrow the focus of your audience and make it more targeted, so that you're actually more likely to connect with people that want to buy your products and services. And that's why there's so many people that make such a massive business out of Facebook ads and targeting, because that is the real massive skill. Because everyone can run an ad, but not necessarily everyone can target an audience so that you actually do get that reach and conversion from your ads. So, you know, really build in and engage with your audience on social media and beyond, and learn about them over time. And this will give you a clear understanding about who your audience is, what makes them tick, and makes it easier for you to target information to them. And most importantly, it helps you to target your products and services to them. And as you can imagine, this can't be done overnight. You're not going to be able to do it next week. It does take time, and that's why, you know, I always say, you know, I said how many likes represent a post this week. Hopefully that posted this week, that post, because we did have problems posting that. But that's why it's so important to engage with your audience and grow your account over time. You know, if you see a lot of the accounts that have maybe 500 posts or 1,000 posts, those are the ones that really understand their audience, hopefully, especially if they have lots of engagement, lots of likes, because they have been in business for that amount of time. Imagine if someone posts every day. How many posts is that on average each year? So if they've got 500 or 1,000 posts, they have been on social media for at least 5 years. So over that time, they have really built their audience. So that's why it's so important to really engage with your audience and learn this information over time. And that's why so many people also say, you know, with Facebook ads, it takes such a long time to get them right, or it takes a bit, you have to kind of really stick with Facebook ads, because it's about trial and error and getting that information. And I think that sometimes that is also what happens with your audience for engagement. You know, you learn about your audience over time. So do click on my bio and book a session if you want to discuss this further. But this is the end of my IGTV. Thanks again for your support, and thank you so much if you got to the end of this video, and enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Sunday.